Hello, children. I'm going to be doing a read aloud of one of my favorite books. I'm going to share the screen and then I will stop the video and get started. I'll make sure that the words are big enough so that you can read along if you wish. Let's try this. Stop video, share screen. Okay, so this is the story we're going to read. It is Uno's Garden by Graham Bass. Uno arrived in the forest on a beautiful day at the very beginning of spring. There to welcome him were 10 magnificent moopaloops and one completely ordinary Snortlepig. Uno loved the forest so much, he decided to live there. There are 10 moopaloops. 10 times 10 equals 100 plants. There are 0 buildings and 1 Snortlepig. And this is the Snortlepig. He will be on not every single page, because these are 2 pages at a time, but he will be on one of every 2 pages. Uno climbed above the treetops. The forest seemed to go on forever. Swinging through the branches were 9 leaping lumpy bums and the completely ordinary Snortlepig. There are 9 lumpy bums. 9 times 9 equals 81 plants, 1 building, and 1 Snortlepig. Others followed Uno. They loved the forest too. They built houses and boats watched by 8 feathered frinklepods, and the Snortlepig, of course. Uno began work on a little garden. There are 8 frinklepods. 8 times 8 equals 64 plants. 1 plus 1 equals 2 buildings, and 1 Snortlepig. The fishermen's children played games among the trees. They counted 7 playful puddlebutts plus 1 Snortlepig. A little village grew. There are 7 puddlebutts. 7 times 7 equals 49 plants. 2 plus 2 equals 4 buildings, and 1 Snortlepig. Some hunters went into the forest looking for sneaky snagglebites. There were 6, but the hunters didn't catch them or the Snortlepig. I'll give you a second to find the Snortlepig. 6 snagglebites. 6 times 6 equals 36 plants. 4 plus 4 equals 8 buildings, and 1 Snortlepig. Tourists came. They saw 5 timid tumbletops, but that was all. Uno kept working in his garden. The village became a town. There are 5 tumbletops. 5 times 5 equals 25 plants. 8 plus 8 equals 16 buildings, and 1 Snortlepig. I'll give you a second to find them. Then the railway was built. Excited passengers watched for wild animals. They caught a glimpse of 4 grazing gondolopes. And what was that other funny-looking creature back there? There are 4 gondolopes. 4 times 4 equals 16 plants. 16 plus 16 equals 32 buildings, and 1 Snortlepig. I'll give you a second to find him. The town had become a city. A team of scientists arrived to study the animals. 3 flippered flipper flaps was all they found. Give you a second to find the Snortlepig. 3 flipper flaps, 3 times 3 equals 9 plants, 32 plus 32 equals 64 buildings, and 1 Snortlepig. The city grew bigger and bigger, and the forest grew smaller and smaller. Some workers came across 2 pointy pricklebacks. They had never seen anything like them. Two pricklebacks, 2 times 2 equals 4 plants, 64 plus 64 equals 128 buildings, and 1 Snortlepig. A lone fisherman set his line in the river. He caught a car tire, several old boots, and a cold. He didn't see the Snortlepig. In fact, nobody has seen one for so long, people weren't even sure they existed. 1 Snortlepig, 1 times 1 equals 1 plant. 128 plus 128 equals 256 buildings. Hopefully you can see the Snortlepig. One gray morning, the people of the city woke up, looked out over the endless buildings, and were sad. Why do we live in a place like this? They asked themselves. There are no trees. So they left. 0 animals, 0 times 0 equals 0 plants. 256 plus 256 equals 512 buildings. The city was dark and abandoned. Uno opened his door and looked out. Sitting there in the garden among the plants that Uno had saved was a Snortlepig, completely ordinary in every way, except that it was there. The Snortlepig lived in Uno's garden for many years. The city crumbled, forgotten. The Snortlepig grew old and died. So did Uno, but the garden lived on. 1 Snortlepig, 1 leafy tree, and 1 old shack. Let's make it bigger. Uno's children continued to care for the little collection of trees and plants, and slowly the forest returned. The children kept a diary of their discoveries: 2 pointy pricklebacks, 2 feather ferns, 2 wigloos, but no Snortlepig. 3 flippered flipper flaps, 3 wiggleweeds, 3 log cabins, but no Snortlepig. 4 grazing gondolopes, 4 bauble grasses, 4 mountaintop lookouts, but no Snortlepig. 5 timid tumbletops, 5 schmuschelmushes, 5 Gothic mansions, but no Snortlepig. Over the years, Uno's grandchildren added to the list: 6 sneaky snagglebites, 6 shady blades, 6 mush rooms, but no Snortlepig. 7 playful puddle butts, 7 whiny vines, 7 enviro habitation pods, but no Snortlepig. Their grandchildren added to the list too: 8 feathered frinkle pods, 8 triflids, 8 houseboats, but no Snortlepig. 9 leaping lumpy bums, 9 saucer weeds, 9 wigwams, but no Snortlepig. 10 magnificent moopaloops, and on a beautiful day at the very beginning of spring, here we have 10 moopaloops, 10 sunny cups, 10 castles, but no Snortlepig. Here you got to turn your head sideways. The forest and the city found themselves in perfect balance. We have 10 times 10 equaling 100 animals, 10 times 10 equals 100 plants. 10 times 10 equals 100 homes. Everything's in balance. And turn your head sideways the other way. Stories were told of the days when an extraordinary creature had lived in Uno's garden. The children listened with wide eyes, and they never stopped believing that one day they would see a real live Snortlepig for themselves. Okay, so that was Uno's garden. I hope to do a few more of these. I really like reading them this way. You can read aloud. Let me know if there's anything I can do to make them better other than not turn some of the pages sideways. That one I've already figured out. Okay, take care, you guys.